What's up, guys? I figured I'd show you real quick how I've been tracking my money inside of Notion, how this dashboard's been developing. Here is the main page. I call this my bird's eye views page inside of Notion. On the overview section of the bird's eye views page, what you're looking at here is on the left side in yellow are all of my expenses from month to month to month. I've got January, February, March, etc. And then on the right side, the blue is the income for each month. And the difference then between those, I have my inflows and my outflows. The difference is your cash flow during each month. So if I brought in more money than I spent, then that means I have an inflow, a net inflow. And then on the opposite side, if I spent more money in a given month than I earned, then I'd have to dip into savings, and that would be an outflow, a net outflow. I have this entire setup attached to another page and another database inside Notion, which I'll show you here real quick. This is my inboxes page, which actually has multiple inbox types, but the one that's attached to my bird's eye views here is my transactions database. My transactions database inside Notion, I have attached to multiple financial accounts like bank accounts, credit card accounts, and I actually walk through how to set this up for yourself. If you're curious, I'll link that video in the corner. And the way that it works is every time a new transaction comes in, like this one for Notion, I pay for a premium Notion subscription so that I can have multiple charts. And when a new transaction comes in, it'll automatically pull the name of the transaction, which tells you where it came from or what you're spending the money on, how much you spent, what account it came from. All of that's synced automatically from an application called BankSync, which again I go into in that video, and it'll tell you the date and everything. And then the only thing I have to do after it lands in my inbox, in order to process it, the only thing I have to do is come into the Riverflow category and decide what category it belongs to. In this case, it's a Notion subscription payment, and so I'm going to search my Notion category, Notion Plus, and as soon as I categorize that, you see it disappears because now it's been categorized and now it is taken into account in this outflows section of the June portion of this bird's eye view. If you noticed, it went from 313 to 325. That's because that outflow went up just a little bit. So I can access this from my phone, and then I can look at all of my recent transactions if I want to. And all of that data is incorporated into this view so that you can keep a really nice, clean, simple, and live view of your money. And it's just nice to be able to stay on top of what my money is doing, what it looks like, especially because I work two flexible jobs, two part-time jobs that I juggle, and I work more or less depending on how much time I have, other projects I'm working on, how much money I need, etc. And so it's really nice to have that. I'll show you a couple of other money-related metrics that I track. Down here in the money metrics section specifically, we'll start with income. This is actually the same exact data that you're looking at up here, my inflows. The only difference is that it's only income, of course, and it goes back all the way to January 2025. So all of my income and how it's changing over time. Ideally, these bars are getting larger, right? Or at least staying steady. I've got my bank plus brokerage. This is a number that I don't have attached. The BankSync application that I use in order to pull transaction data automatically, I believe you can also use that to pull account balance data automatically to show how much you have in like your bank account, for example. But the way that I do it instead, I actually prefer just to keep it very simple. Instead of having it synced automatically, what I do is just a check-in once a month. I'll do a check-in that includes a bunch of pieces of data that I care about, that I want to track, that I want to keep track of. And so one of them is my bank plus brokerage amount, the amount of money that I have across my bank and brokerage accounts. I just type that number in once a month at the end of the month, and that number is the one that you see here as it's trending over time. The home equity number is also very similar, and then I do the same thing for non-directly money related, although the goal, of course, is to earn money from content creation as well, but it's less directly money. but I'm still tracking those same types of numbers: YouTube subscribers, Instagram followers, TikTok followers, watch time, all that stuff. I just, again, simply at the end of every month, I have a little thing in my phone that gives me a to-do right at the end of the month. It reminds me to input this number, and that way I can see inside Notion how those numbers are trending over time. The last one, I guess I'll show you. This one might not be as relevant for as many people. It depends on what kind of work you do. But for me, because I juggle 2 part-time jobs and I therefore don't have a regular, a routine salary income, I have a variable income. I input hours and I get paid for those hours. I input days and I get paid for those days. I have to keep track and be very aware of how much I'm putting in order to make sure I'm staying on top of my bills. And so I track how many hours I'm working at Texas Roadhouse, my first job, and that is tracked here month to month to month. And then how many days I'm working as a substitute teacher, my other job, from month to month to month, and what that reflects as in terms of earnings or expected earnings, roughly estimated earnings for month to month to month, those two combined. And those are all formulated, or not formulated. I have a formula inside Notion which does all the math for me behind the scenes, and that spits out this number to show me how much I should be expecting to earn from these two incomes, respectively.